Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'ma detail the story of Hoover rapper Treyway6k. Treyway would be born in LA around 2002. He would grow up in South Central and grew up spending a lot of time with his grandma, with his parents being in the streets and in and out of jail. Treyway's childhood was around a heavy gang-infested area, but he focused on school and played sports. He wasn't focused on any street activity, and he was even an honor roll student. Him and his uncle Manye, that was a year younger than him, had other views to make it out of South Central, but that will all change on May 13th, 2018. I covered Manye's story before in a previous episode, but Manye and his friend Lamarian and a few other kids, including Treyway, will be leaving a party where they will be mistaken for gang members. As they walk, they will be shot at, and Manye and Lamarian will both lose their lives.
Investigators say, from what they know, at least 2 suspects pulled up in a car at that location near Manchester and Grand Avenue at about 1:30 this morning. They say the suspects, at least one of them, said, "Where are you from?" before firing, as detectives here continue to ask more questions.
Now, Manye Jackson and Lamarian Upchurch were shot and killed last May in South LA. 2 others who were injured in the shooting called 911. The family say the 15-year-old boys were not affiliated with any gang.
This would deeply affect Treyway. He didn't gangbang before Manye's death, but this drove him into joining Hoover after watching his uncle die. So by 14, he would get put on with the Trey Hoovers and start his gangbanging life. After he got put on Hoover, Treyway would later get put off, with his older brother not wanting him to gangbang, but he still managed to come back and get put on Hoover after his older brother went to jail. Treyway would die deep in the streets, and being a Hoover criminal wasn't easy. The Hoovers are one of the most hated gangs in LA and have a history dating back over 50 years. The Hoovers were originally known as the Hoover Groovers, and they would later align themselves with the Westside Crips and rename themselves the Hoover Crips, but Groove remained in their vocabulary. The Hoover Crips would have several different sets rapping Hoover, like 5 Deuce, 5-9, 7-4, 8 Trey, 9 Deuce, 9-4, 107, and 11 Deuce Hoover. It was a 4 Trey and 9-0 Hoover, but both of those sets have faded away for various reasons. The Hoovers would later, by the late 70s, become one of the most hated gangs, but go on to war with several gangs, like the Rolling 40s, the Rolling 50s, the Rolling 60s, the Rolling 90s, the Rolling 100s, the Menlo Crips, the Rolling 30s, gangs like the Main Street Crips, the East Coast Crips, the 8-7 and the 9-7 Gangster Crips, Bloods like Deverlanes and Brams, and Mexican gangs like Soft Lows. So being a Hoover wasn't easy at all. With all the rivals they had by the 90s, they would decide to drop the Crip from the Hoover name and become criminals. Most of the Hoover sets would decide to go that route, but 5 Deuce Hoovers would decide to remain Crips. With Treyway joining Hoover, he would see how hard it was to be a member, always getting in fights and altercations off his gang affiliation. This would lead to his family sending him to live in Rialto to get away from the street life. But this wouldn't work. He would be going to juvenile hall by the age of 15, where he would spend several years in and out of jail, off charges like robbery, and he would even get sent to placement in Michigan. While Treyway was in jail, his little brother would be arrested for the murder of New York rapper Pop Smoke.
Rising star rapper from Brooklyn is shot dead during a break-in at home in California. Police say 20-year-old rapper Pop Smoke, whose real name was Bashar Jackson, was shot and killed just after 4 a.m. in the Hollywood Hills. Los Angeles police say several men entered a home where he was staying, and at least one gunman opened fire. Investigators say it's too early to tell whether Jackson was actually targeted. Police are interviewing several witnesses who were inside at the time. Investigators say one of the witnesses contacted a friend out of state.
The 911 call came from back east. It was apparently a friend of someone who was inside the residence who had been contacted from inside the residence and had in turn called 911.
Treyway will always back his brother up about the situation.
The fucking there's no peace treating going on. It's over with. Fuck Pop Smoke in the whole woo, in the whole 6-0. It's regular, dead homie.
Well, the allegations is my little brother in jail for actually supposedly killing Pop Smoke verse. My boy innocent though, free man for on the side.
So your little brother is in jail for killing Pop Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Treyway would first start rapping in jail after being bored. After a month back in the streets, after getting out, Treyway would start to wild out on social media and build a following, beefing with several gangs.
Hey, I went to 97, 98 on Hoover. I went by Lock. Dead homie's not a skirt in sight on Hoover. So I don't do the videos, but Treyway6k for the win again. Dead homies. Dead homies. Look, I'm not with the walking around people hoods and all that on the dead homies, cause like on Hoover, y'all know what I came here for. On Hoover, I ain't seen nobody. On Trey Hoover, I ain't seen nobody. Y'all knew what I was here for.
Treyway would start capitalizing off his social media presence, and he would then start dropping music. He dropped his first song and video in November of 2020, and the song would instantly go viral, currently sitting at 500,000 views. The song was called The Shooter Gang. In 2021, Treyway would start taking music serious and drop several songs and videos that year and was featured on several songs. His biggest song would be a song called The Hoovers, which went viral and was a diss to neighborhood Crips. The song featured CEH Pope and S.A. Face. The song would later get 1 million views. His second biggest song that year was a song called Instagram Post, which almost sits at 1 million views and featured Jack 5. He dropped several other songs that year and was fully active in the streets as well, getting in confrontations with his rivals. Treyway would even take a photo with Draco the Ruler, who didn't gangbang, but it was affiliated with neighborhood Crips. This would make Draco get into it with his own homies.
You took a photo with a rapper popping off in LA.
Yeah.
Treyway6k. I was actually listening to him last night. He's dope. He was he throwing up some signs that people felt like you should not be in a photo?
He listens to my music, so I don't care. So yeah. Anyway, anything else to go with that?
So you don't feel like you have any obligation to be monitoring the politics of someone you take a fan type photo with?
No,
Would you call that a fan photo?
I mean, he's a fan of my music. Like, he's straight. Like, I don't.
You took a photo with him because like on a fan type level, not like a best buddies type level.
But Treyway would stay having problems with the law after being arrested a few times, and he would face a serious charge after him and 2 other men were seen jumping somebody on camera, and Treyway would be seen firing a gun at a person that they jumped. Treyway would be arrested for this and get bail and fight his charges on the street. With a lot going on in 2022, Treyway would have less music dropping, but still had a lot of songs come out. With a lot going on in 2022, Treyway would have less music dropping, but still had a lot of songs come out that year. His biggest song that year was 50 to the Hundreds, which almost sits at 2 million views. But dealing with his case, Treyway would get into several altercations at court with rivals, from fighting Rolling 30 Crips to getting into an altercation with Tunchi 5 from the Rolling Hundreds.
You bothered to see your little viewers. You ain't never had 100 viewers before.
Yeah, I know. Hey, look, you hear me?
What?
Next time, just DM me, just like, hey, Tune, shout me out, cuz just say,
look, more of the story than the dead homies tune on Westside Hoover. For I respect my own words. You could have ducked off on Hoover, gave me my fade on Westside.
Don't put down your dead homies. Why you saying?
Oh, they talking about doped you on West, so I never hit you?
You never even touched me. Don't do that.
Oh my God. Tune.
Come on. Hey, come on. I used to kind of like you, but you can't be doing that, bro. Not for the views.
2/3.
Hey, look.
Hey,
look, you hear me? Now I remember. Now I believe, cuz when you said let's do a little boxing match for money, you really want this clout, cuz, huh?
You said boxing match for money?
I got no. Remember when you told me that? You really want this clout, huh?
You want to beat your ass
on B team?
You swung at me, but on Westside Hoover, y'all
on B team.
You said what?
On B team.
The dead homies, the little slick shots y'all try to throw.
No, but you know what? I can't beat the internet, cuz you right. You got it. You got this. You king neck, cuz.
Around the same time, Treyway would go viral for getting jumped by the East Coast Crips.
I went up in the store to get some woods. Dead homies, boom. I go in the store, boom. I turn my back, whatever, boom. Swear to God, get the woods. I'm ass over. Turn around, I see my ops, boom. So I peer them. I'm right here chilling. I'm looking like, So what up? Because I let more of the story. Situation, left in the car. So boom, it's like, what am I going to do? Boom, and plus we're at the gas station, so it's like nothing I can really do. And I see multiple of them, so boom, I'm sitting there, boom, it's like, what can I do? So I sit there, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait right here till they come in, till one of them come in, but I'm gonna hide, and then I'm gonna dope him when he come in. Oh, that's over. So boom, that's what I did. I sat there, I waited, boom, he started walking in. Boom, I hurry up, caught him, boom, whatever. Boom, I try to walk out, I try to get up out the store, boom, try to get out the store, boom. So they all ran, start packing me out. I didn't know that. Story. I moved up out of there, tried to get up out of there, you know.
But by the end of 2022, Treyway would be in jail and be sentenced to 6 years. While behind bars, Treyway would get into a war of words with Rolling 30 Crip rapper AFM Bobster. Treyway would say he stole his song after AFM Bobster named the song Instagram post just like Treyway and used his lyrics in the song. But with Treyway being in jail, this wouldn't go far. Treyway has dropped an album called No Letdowns and has had songs with people like Rucci, CML, Julio Fulio, Big Sad, and several other rappers, including rappers from Hoover. With Treyway being too invested in the streets, this led to his downfall, but he's still young and would get out in his 20s, so he still would have time to get back on track in his career. this will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.